Hello everyone, welcome back to Daily LeetCode Live, and we're gonna get started doing today's LeetCode question, raw and uncut. So today's question is find the number of distinct colors among the balls. You are given an integer limit and a 2D array queries of size n times 2. Right, so might be some range that I'm thinking here. And well, we have an integer limit, so there are limit plus 1 balls with distinct labels in a range 0 to limit. Okay, so initially all balls are uncolored. For every query in queries that is of the form xy, you mark ball x with the color y, right? So it's not a range, it's coloring with some color. After each query, you need to find the number of distinct colors among the balls. Return array result of length n, where result I denotes the number of distinct colors after ith query. So I think just reading this, I kind of had the general idea on what the question is, but still have to look at the questions to see. So what I'm thinking before looking at the example is it doesn't we're basically just kind of keeping track of how many distinct colors are there, right? So let's look at the example and see. So this one, so the first query, it colors the first ball with the color 4. So hence we have one color. We color the second ball, on the second run, we color the second ball with color 5. So well, now we have two colors. And now we are coloring ball 1 with 3. But well, here's the problem, right? We have colored ball 1 with 4 before, and then we have recolored 3. So we can't just really we can't just count how many distinct colors we have seen so far. We have to also update the previous balls as well. So let's see what kind of time complexity we have to reach. Right, so the limit is pretty high. Well, that means we can't really use an array to store the balls. We have to use a map, and well, we have 10 to the power of 5 queries, so that's 100,000. So that means our solution has to be either ON or n log n. And yeah, so these ones are they have been expressed up there before already. So let's start thinking maybe. So so for example 1, well, if we definitely need some kind of map to keep track of what color each ball is, and we also want maybe another map to keep track of for each color how many for each color how many balls are of that color. So if we do that, well, we can keep track of the color for each ball, and at the same time we can keep track of how many balls are colored that way. So so if we have these two maps, let's say for this case, for the 1 4 2 5, for example 1, so we have 0 1 2 3 4, right? For so it colors this as 4, so this is the index, this is the color. So it colors 1 with 4, colors 2 with 5. So if we have a color map here, so color and then frequency, so this is a map as well. Well, this is going to be a map. This is also going to be a map, because we can have 10 to the power of 9 balls. We can't make an array that big. So for the color frequency, well, we have 4, and then we have 5. So when we first, well, actually, let me go back. So let's look at example 1 here first. Oops. Let's look at example 1 here. So when we color ball 1 to be 4, we should store the color 4 here, and then we can add 1 frequency there. And when we color like 2 with 5, so like the color 5 has 1 ball that is colored the color. And when we look at 1, 3, so we want to color this as 3, right? We actually want to check, well, because it has a color already, we actually have to check for 4, like whether we have like whether it only has like 1 frequency or not, like because we have to update this, like the second map here, so that like it basically stores like in real time what are the colors, like how many like colors. So yeah, so when we're coloring 1 with 3, we have 1 more ball with 3, like with the color 3, but then we have 1 less for 4, so we can just remove this. So the reason like I'm thinking of removing it instead of like just keeping it as 0 is for each query we can just get the size of this map, and that takes all one time. So that's why I think if we do this, it is going to be an ON solution, and well, that will be fast enough. Well, I don't think my explanation is that clear, but I'm pretty sure this works. I'll just code it out and just talk through it. So let's get coding. So we have the number of queries. So queries. There will be a length of queries. Do we really need to use limit? I don't think so, because we are using a map. So, well, we have the 2 maps. So we have ball to color, and then we have color frequency. So now we can loop through like all the queries. So for yeah, we don't really need this actually. So for queue in queries, well, what does query have? Well, we are guaranteed that they are of length 2, so we can really just do well, but the ball index, so ball index, and we have the color afterwards. So color. So after we do that, we can just do so we have 2 cases. Either the ball is uncolored or the ball is colored, and we have to. So if the ball is not colored, we don't have to update the color frequency. But if it is colored, we have to update. So that's the difference. So so if ball index is not in ball to color, so it hasn't been colored yet, we want to, well, we basically just want to add this in. So ball index, and then we'll set it to the color. Otherwise, well, that means the ball is colored. We still want to set this, but then oh, actually, I'm missing something here. So for the color frequency, yeah, actually, let's make this a default dict. So this is to make it slightly cleaner. So from collections import Yep. And then here we can just do plus 1 here. Otherwise, well, we basically have to do this for both of them. So I think we can put this outside actually. And we don't have to do anything extra if it is not in. So to make it cleaner, we can just put it outside here. So yeah, we can just do something like this. If ball index, if it is in, then color frequency of the previous color. Oh yeah, this should be color because we are like the key are the colors instead of the ball index. So that's my bad. Well, we should get the ball to color. So the ball is colored already, right? It is colored with ball index color. Well, we have to minus 1 because we're coloring it with another color. And if the new color wait, actually, yeah, we should put this down there because we want to update the previous things first before we update the new things. If not, it will create a conflict. So now, if this thing is equal to 0, we want to remove the key here. I think I copied it. Yep. We can just remove this. Otherwise, we can just keep it in there. And at the end, well, actually, we want the results. So we want the results. We can just do results dot append. Well, we can just append the size of the color frequency because that tells you how many existing colors are there. So length, color frequency. And then I think if we return results, it will just work. Oh, I did something wrong. I forgot to add int here. So the int there is just telling it like what default value do you want, and for ints the default value is 0. Yeah, so that works. Yeah, so actually one thing I want to mention before we go is like would the logic here create any conflict? So like one edge case I thought of is what if we are coloring well, let's go back to this example here. What if we are coloring 1 with 4 twice? So we are doing like 1 4 2 5 and 1 4. What if we are doing that? Would that create any like double counting or something? Well, it shouldn't, because well, let's look at here. So we want to decrease the frequency first. Well, we have only colored like 1 with 4, and we haven't colored any like balls with 4 before. So that should remove the key of 4 here. Well, but then when we get here, it is going to add it back in again. And the other edge case is what if there are 2 balls that are colored 4? So why does my code work? Well, we can think of the other example. So if we have 2 4 here, well, that means instead of 5 1 here, we will have 4 2 here when we get up to here, right? So like we have 2 balls colored 4, like colored the color 4, and when we get here, well, it is going to decrease it, and then it is going to like increase it again. So like that works. But what if the color is like 3? Well, it will decrease the frequency by 1, but it is not 0, right? So this color still exists, and then it will add another color here. So, well, yeah, we do have 2 distinct colors here, so that works. And yeah, I think that's all I want to explain. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.